Yo, let's get you hooked up with the system that we use to scale our clients to six and multi six figures months. So let's get into it. In this video, I'll quickly cover a basic call funnel and everything that you have to have set up in a way to actually, well, make money with your coaching business. And then in one of the next videos, I'll go into nuances such as how to run a call funnel alongside a webinar funnel, how to run ads, blah, 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 everything else that you need to know. This video is just a basic outline of a funnel that you need and that you can literally run up 100K months without anything else being in place. So let's get into it. First off, obviously traffic. You need to get leads from somewhere. If you're great at doing organic, you can get traffic with your organic. If not, you have to rely on paid ads, and that's just the way it is. So every ad and every post are going to be congruent with the rest of your funnel. Now, post need to be congruent. My VA fucked up when he made this micro. So basically, with ads and with organic, we ideally want to target the same total addressable market, the same ICP, literally the same person. So your organic, just put it out. Like the thing with organic, the more volume that you put out, the faster that you're going to grow. Obviously, it takes time and it isn't predictable. So it's more like playing the lottery, but once you hit it, you can keep repeating it by just doing the thing that worked before to get you leads, views, everything else that you need. Ideally, you should have a mix between top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel content on your organic, and pretty much top of funnel content should be total addressable, marketable content. So pretty much a piece of content that is relatable to literally everybody that has some kind of touch with your niche. For example, for fitness coaches, it's going to be some low calorie foods or something like that. That is applicable to the vast majority of people. Then your middle funnel and bottom of funnel content should be either around your social proof or your offer, and you shouldn't be afraid to push out your offer / lead magnets in your content. Now, with ads, it's a bit of a different story, and I'll go in depth onto how to run ads in one of the next videos. Although with currently how the things are standing, you can, like the easiest thing to run up ads is just to run your existing top of funnel best performing content as top of funnel ads, and then have a bottom of funnel retargeting campaign with lots of social proof to retarget people that are already in your warm pool / cold leads that come in later on with social proof so that they can get further down your funnel. Basically, it just needs to be congruent, and you need to focus on speaking to one single ICP and be super specific with what you're saying in both ads and organic. Then we go to a VSL page. Why a VSL page? It's the most basic funnel that you can run that is going to yield you the best results. So a VSL page, you don't need anything fancy. A headline, a sub-headline calling out the ICP and their situation, and then a VSL itself that you can literally film. Just you need to explain your offer kind of / sell them into your unique mechanism, showcase them your social proof, and ideally if you can tie it into your story somehow, be a bit of a storyteller, explain to them how you got from X to Y, how you can help them get from X to Y, and how you helped others get from X to Y. Below it, just have a CTA to apply via a form, and then have social proof plastered all over the lower portion of your VSL page. Then the application should be decently-ish long, so 5 to 8 questions depending on how much are you setting in the DMs, are you setting them at all, blah blah blah. This should be your point of friction where you're going to DQ or qualify leads, because what's going to happen when you run a funnel for your ads, because you're going to have copies of the VSL page and the application for your conversion API, you can make it so that this application is getting back data to Meta with your conversion API, so that Meta knows who to target better based off of qualified and disqualified leads. So that's one trick for you that you can remember. So yeah, application should have some sorts of friction so that you can DQ leads and protect your closers' time. Then the thank you page, basically you should have again a thank you video that outlines the process on how to make sure that they actually show up to the call. You should have the number that you're going to be dialing them from displayed on the page. You should have the little gift that takes them to their calendar to accept the invite. And pretty much everything else that you can put on a thank you page. A couple of examples, a podcast with the closer disguised as a podcast with one of your coaches to introduce them to the closer. You can have FAQ videos that are made to pre-handle the most common objections that you're getting, and obviously client interviews, client podcasts, social proof in terms of like images, screenshots of chats with clients. Literally everything your thank you page needs to be brewing with social proof. Then between the call happening and somebody booking in, you need to actually make sure that they actually fucking show up. So how do you do it? Well, you send them emails and SMS sequences that first of all reference everything that they told you so far. Second of all, sound like an actual human is writing them and not like they're pre-written with AI. Third of all, introduce them to the closer / to you yourself. Like, just reach out to them if you're closing them yourself. Have somebody dial them to confirm that they went through all of the assets. Make it mandatory for them to go through all of the assets. And then some details that we started doing recently with some of our offers. Have a discount code for people who end up showing up to the first call as an incentive. Basically, it's going to be the same price anyways. Just have it appear as if they are getting something for showing up. And then just have the frequency of all of these things really dialed in so that nobody is being unnotified and not confirming that they are showing up to the call. In case you have a really high lead flow, what you can do is you can let go off of the unconfirmed slots like 20 hours before the call, 12 hours before, 6 hours before, so that you can book somebody in. The sooner the call happens with your leads, the higher the closing rate is going to be, the higher the show rate is going to be. This is literally the pattern across every single one of our offers. So try to have your calendar limited to 24 to maybe max 48 hours so that you can ensure that the leads are actually showing up and closing. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the first step of the funnel. So your funnel pretty much is going to be your daily lead flow. If you are struggling with getting leads to organic, run ads. If you want to scale from organic, run ads. And then with organic, just put out more content to get more leads in. This is a financial model for the funnel that you can take a look at. These are pretty decent / standard numbers. Obviously, if your offer is really good and you have a good warm audience, these numbers are going to look way better. If your offer is dog shit, these numbers are going to be worse. These are some of the stats that you can try and work towards when it comes to scaling through cold / scaling with ads. And then I'll quickly go over each step and pretty much how to make sure that it converts. So yeah, pretty much once you're running ads, and this is one change, you want 2 separate funnels. One funnel that is going to take in your organic traffic, and then a second funnel that is going to take in your ad traffic. Why? Because we want to give the cleanest / most distilled data back to Facebook. So we don't want it to merge with organic data, so that Facebook and Meta is actually able to find leads based off of the data that it produced, and so that the stats are actually accurate and not inflated. The structured batches when it comes to ads, we run 3 to 2 ads. This is an innovation that a guy named Charlie came up. You can search him on YouTube from the Meta MBA program. He's really good at running ads. He ran ads for major brands in the game. So yeah, go look him up. Pretty much the ad has one job. It is to call out the right person and make the CTA / the click obvious. And pretty much what you're going to find yourself in a position, especially if you're just starting ads, is that you don't have to take somebody through the whole sales process. So from somebody who isn't even aware that they have a problem to problem aware to solution aware, blah, blah, blah. You just have to be the best option for somebody who has their card out and they're going to end up buying from you. Obviously, judge everything on the money in your bank account and never on engagement when it comes to running ads. The VSL, some pretty much things that you need to have is everything above the fold so that people don't have to scroll down. The video itself should have the problem, your unique mechanism, the proof, and then actually explain how the offer works. You should plaster them with social proof. You should have one CTA that's congruent with everything. And the actually watch time here is the goal somewhat, because the more content somebody watches, the likelier they'll convert. Although somebody actually going ahead and booking a call versus somebody just watching the VSL, obviously you should want to optimize for the ones that are booking a call. The application friction is a feature. You don't want a frictionless form to blow up your calendar, because you're just going to end up wasting your closer's time. You're going to end up giving the wrong data back to Meta, etc., etc. So you want to have friction between your forms. And then the show up process, we already went through it. Once again, if the funnel is leaking somewhere, you should make sure that everything is congruent. You should literally go through your funnel as if you are a lead, and then find out the blind spots and fix them accordingly. And then again, one more time, the statistical model behind this for a standard offer with not much social proof, not much of an organic audience, blah, blah, blah. If your offer is great and your organic is great, your numbers are going to be way higher. If your organic is shit and your offer is shit, your numbers are going to be lower. That's just how it is. And then some of the results that we've gotten with this exact system, as you can see here. So yeah, that is pretty much it for this video. In one of the next ones, I'll go over each one of these steps in a more detailed manner, because there is so much to cover, and I don't really want to film a video that is like 3 hours long, basically covering each thing in ultra detailed specifics. So yeah, one of the next videos is probably going to cover one of the steps in this board. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. If you're a coach who is looking to scale their coaching business to 6 figures plus, go ahead, book a call. The link is going to be down below. Pretty much you're going to see on the VSL page, our offer is unbeatable and it's probably the best offer you'll ever get. So go ahead, book the call, and let's partner up. If you're somebody who has a huge audience but doesn't really know how to monetize them, the same goes for you. Go ahead, watch the VSL, book a call, and I'll see you there.